Alright, so I'm going to do a recording of every game that I play, henceforth in the 2021 League of Legends season. This is obviously the end of November, so it's technically still preseason, but kind of counts as the 2021 season. So season 11 of the League of Legends experience. So here we have Rammus against Zac, we have Galio against Diana, we have Vayne against Jinx, Leona against Janna, Malphite against Lucian. So the way that this lane works, Lucian should win against Malphite. Much later in the game, if Malphite gets a lead, then Lucian just gets totally, knocked out of the game. But if Lucian is just left to lane alone against Malphite, it's pretty difficult for the Malphite. The Lucian can just harass him at range and farm pretty effectively. You have the Zac against Rammus matchup. This is a very interesting matchup because what tends to happen in Zac versus Rammus is Rammus charges in to the enemy to taunt someone and engage the fight. Then Zac jumps over Rammus and attacks his team, so his team can't follow up on the Rammus taunt. So Zac is in a way a neutralizing component of the Rammus engage. So in general, if you look at the win rates between Zac and Rammus, I'm fairly confident that Zac has a winning win rate against Rammus, at least in this patch. I'm pretty sure of that. Okay, so you look next at Diana versus Galio. So in the way of probably the first 12, 13 levels of the game, Galio should be doing more than Diana. It should just be happening because Galio can ult in to help his team. He has a taunt and can set up his teammates to just kill the low HP targets. So in this sense, Galio is obviously more of a utility tank in that effect, right? So you should see Galio being more impactful in the at least first 15 minutes of the game. Now once the game goes on, Diana starts getting items. She gets really scary. She's like a really reliable engage. It's a really reliable engage. So it's a very reliable engage setting. Now here, this is a really good play. What Zac and Diana did. So what Diana was dead. So I'm like, oh, I'm safe, right? I thought I was safe because Diana died on the tower, but Diana actually TP'd from base and ran into the red buff to help Zac, and now they're going to dive this top tower. So we're saying that later in the game, Diana should be more effective than Galio. So Malphite kind of wastes his teleport. It's like there was really no chance of him getting away there. But I would have used teleport to get back to lane after I died. But I guess he does what he does. Trying to be a little bit greedy in that sense. Because if he gets away with it, obviously that'd be a pretty good victory. But anyway, Scuttle Crab is free because these two are both, in top lane. Unfortunately, I can't actually take Dragon because I'm Rammus, and Rammus is not the best at taking Dragon. But we kind of have the situation where they kind of just snagged 2 kills for almost nothing. It's like the actual difference was it's like 8 CS because I got 2 more camps than the Zac, 2 more jungle camps, but the Malphite also lost a bunch of CS top lane. So as it turns out, this is actually a really good play for them. But what we actually have is, I believe the Vayne is the highest ranked player on our team, so this team is actually bot lane focused in terms of the strength of the players. So this losing this top side of the map is what expected, and it shouldn't be seen as something that's too horrifying. As you can see, Vayne already has 3 kills. So anytime you have the top side, this team has the top side as their strongest players, you would expect them to take advantages on the top side of the map. So here Malphite is just really struggling. They're putting a huge amount of pressure on him. Zac is going to go fall behind another jungle camp. So at this point I'm 3 jungle camps ahead. So you can see that the differential here is 12 CS. So Lucian actually died to the Malphite. Zac has no HP. So Zac is going to lose 2 more jungle camps. So Zac actually lost 3 jungle camps by diving top tower. Because Zac is low HP, he has to recall. I can take both of his jungle camps. So what Zac is doing is actually very risky. Okay, it's not something that you just do, and don't think that, there won't be consequences to it. Just like the super hard aggression, right? So you kind of have a little bit of a interesting situation playing out, which happens quite frequently. Is you have one jungler who's heavily ganking, the other is just farming, and as it turns out, this actually comes out to a 20 CS lead. So one of his kills has already been erased, just by the fact that I have the extra jungle camps too. So his kill is actually similar to one kill or less. So it's not necessarily as bad as we might think. So you're coming down here, you have the Diana aggressively diving into the bottom lane, Janna going down. If you look at the differential here, obviously 7 to 6, you have, in terms of minion kills, you have a very large minion kill difference between Malphite and Lucian. So the extra CS from Lucian over Malphite basically is cancelling out the CS that Rammus has. I'm the Rammus over the Zac. So there is a potentially kind of scary thing there. In terms of the CS differentials, we are actually, I think it's very close to even, or we're ahead in CS. But the extra kill is making up a decent difference there, and it looks like the two tower plates that Lucian and Zac took top lane, and the extra tower plate that Jinx and Leona took bottom lane is actually making up the gold differential. So the CS margins are actually to the point where red team here, with Rammus, myself, we're actually winning on minion kills. Because Galio has a minion kill, Vayne is even. Here, this is what tends to happen to Lucian top lane. Is that he just starts to die. Like once the game gets later, and we have enough levels to just burst him down, it really gets to the point where Lucian top is just going to die over and over and over again. So he really needs to get a large advantage to make that pick work. Like, you really need to say, as Lucian top lane, you expect to die probably 3 times in 20 minutes at minimum. Like, if you're dying less than 3 times in 20 minutes, you're actually having a very good game. So you do actually need to be getting those advantages as Lucian top lane, because you will die. Just because you have very low HP. It's pretty easy to just burst you down if you have people going into that lane to fight. So it's kind of a little bit of overconfidence from Zac. He is, at that point, I'm ahead of Zac. I was ahead of Zac before that gank, just because of the number of jungle camps that I took. So Diana and Zac felt like they had a lead over Galio and Rammus because they had an extra kill, but we actually have the minion lead. You can see here I'm 36 minions ahead, Galio's 12 minions ahead. Comes out to 48 minions, it's like 2 kills. Right, so we were actually close to even in that engagement. So they were a little bit overconfident in thinking that they can win that fight. You shouldn't get baited into thinking that past results predict future results. It's actually current strength that predicts future results and not past results that predict future results. So you have to look at current strength, not just how things have gone recently. So because Zac is dead, I can just easily die at the bottom lane, and Zac can't really do anything to stop me. Right? So like, potentially if he had ran straight, or sorry, because Diana is dead, right? It's not super dangerous to be going in there. So somehow, like, I I still had some like red buff burn on one of the targets, like, and then I just died to tower, but it was an execute, so it's not the hugest deal in the world. So let's look back at the kill differential. So you can see that what happens is minions give more experience than kills. So the kill gold ratio is skewed towards gold and away from experience. The minion gold ratio is skewed towards experience and away from kills. So if I have equal gold from minions, I'm actually ahead because I have more experience. You can see Zac is level 6, Rammus is level 8. So anytime you have a jungler who's trading kills and losing jungle camps, he's going to fall behind in experience. So what this means is, if he continues in this trend, the other jungler will just get a level lead, and the extra minion kills will make up the difference. Okay, so as a jungler, if you are trading, 3 or 4 jungle camps for 1 kill, that's a bad trade, because you're falling behind on experience. So the Zac actually ganked too often. He was far too aggressive in his ganking. He should have taken the time to get more jungle camps, because now he has a very large level deficit. So you can see I'm 2 levels ahead of the Zac. And now Lucian just has to die again. So this is what starts to happen when you play top lane Lucian. So you can see here there's 3 deaths at 12 minutes. So if Lucian doesn't die again for the next 8 minutes, how likely is that? It's not very likely. Like, his whole team would just really have to start playing, significantly better. So here is Lucian dying, and so Diana tries to say, I can take control of Scuttle Crab, but your top laner is dead and he can't help you, man. It's like the worst possible time to try to take Scuttle Crab is when your top laner is already dead. So you can see that the level lead difference in the fact Zac is level 7, Rammus is level 9, is a 2 level lead on Rammus, just because taking jungle camps is more experience than getting kills. Right. So if you're saying that you're looking at the early game and you're saying Zac did better, this isn't actually true. Because the extra jungle camps that I took away from the Zac in his own jungle, it gave me a 2 level lead. Right, the extra farming that I did gave me a level lead, which allowed me to actually win all of the engagements, after about 8 minutes into the game, just by the nature of the level lead. So what they say, there's something like 1 level is worth more than a kill. Right, so because I had a level lead and I was equal gold from farming jungle camps to the kill ratios that Zac was getting, I was actually winning that early game. So Zac was not, the amount of ganking that Zac did, I have a 3 level lead. Okay, with Zac ganking that often, I have a 3 level lead. Okay, because Zac just says, I die top lane, and Rammus takes all my jungle camps. And this is how we're going to do it. So you can't play like that. You have to be taking your jungle camps, or the enemy jungler is just going to grow rich off of your own side of the jungle. So this is really Zac being far too optimistic and thinking he can gank that frequently and still win a game. It's something that doesn't really work. It hasn't worked for a long time. Is this idea of just constantly ganking. Doesn't really work. So there's a dragon. You know, as we said, Zach took the first dragon. During the time where Zach took the dragon, I took 2 jungle camps. So if it comes around to second dragon, I'm actually stronger than him. Because the value of the dragon, the ocean dragon for Zach, is not the value of 2 jungle camps. It's not the value of, you know, level advantage. It's much less than that. So, well, this is okay. What Zach is doing is not terrible, but it's not as good as what Rammus is doing. You can see that starting to come into fruition. You can see that the level lead is 4 levels. Rammus has a 4-level lead on Zach. Just because he's farming and Zach is just ganking far too often. So you can see Zach is skipping his raptor camp. Zach just skipped his raptor camp. And he's going to, what is he doing? He's just not taking gold. He's going to check Rift Herald. And he's taking Scuttle Crab. It's like he could take, you know, he really needs to say like raptors, wolves, blue, gromp. You know, because at this stage I'm gonna get to the point where I basically have a 5 level lead, I think, if Zach continues to not farm at the pace that he's at currently. So Zach is now taking mid lane minions. He has 4 jungle camps up. So here's what's going to happen. So in the time that Zach took Scuttle Crab and pushed 1 wave mid, Rammus took every single camp in his jungle. So the efficiency in terms of the golden experience that Rammus is getting is far greater than what Zach is getting. Right. So it's his 3-level lead. So you're looking at the item differential. Rammus is substantially ahead of Zach at this stage. You can see that the farming option is more reliable, more consistent, and just overall better in terms of getting minions. In terms of getting resources. Okay, the purpose of getting a kill is actually more efficient in denying resources from the enemy because the enemy is dead and can't get into lane to get experience. So a kill is actually more effective in denying resources from the enemy than actually giving resources to yourself. Okay, getting minions and experience is actually the best way to get resources from yourself. Kills deny resources from the enemy, obviously because they're in base and they have to respawn and walk back to lane, and they're out of the game for about a minute. So if I kill you, then I can go and take all of your jungle camps. And I'm using the kill to get a further advantage because you can no longer threaten me. Okay, the kill, if you kill just to get a kill, it's not actually super worth it. Because you have to use the kill to get other advantages for it to actually be a good play. So what Zach should have done, he should say, I get 1 kill, now I counter jungle Rammus. I get another kill, and then I counter jungle Rammus. This would be the more efficient way to go about the play. What Zach did is he said, I get a kill, and then I try to get another kill. I try to get another kill and another kill and another kill. This isn't actually the most efficient way to get strong in terms of getting gold for yourself. Okay, because at best you get 1 kill a minute. Because you have to walk all the way to the next lane and the people have to take time to respawn and all this stuff. You know, in 1 minute I can take 3 or 4 jungle camps, which is about the same goal as a kill, but more experience. So kills are seen as saying, I deny gold from the enemy, and it's not so much a way to get strong by myself. Right? Because the kill is actually less experience than an equal amount of minions in gold. So you need to be careful about saying that, you know, just kills is kills. It's kills, you know, no, kills is now I'm allowed to counter jungle. I get a kill, now I'm allowed to take dragon. I get a kill, now I'm allowed to take tower. The goal of getting kills is to take other objectives. And the kill goal in and of itself is not better than just farming non-stop most of the time. So if you get the kill and then you continuously farm, obviously that's better. But if you have to trade a kill for 2 minion waves, that's actually not worth it. Okay, it's actually better to get 2 minion waves than to get 1 kill. It's more experience, and it's a little bit less gold, but overall it should be more valuable to get 2 minion waves of gold, and experience is generally more valuable than getting a kill in terms of strengthening yourself. So this is why a lot of top laners take teleport and not ignite. Because if I use ignite, I get 1 kill. That's actually worth less than saying I can TP to lane to make sure I don't miss minions and experience. Okay, because if I recall at a weird time, I can miss 2 full minion waves, you know, before I get back to lane, and it's not good. You know, or maybe 1.5 minion waves, something like this. So the value of just farming jungle should not be underestimated. So it's like more than doubling the creep score of Zac is more than double. Okay, so this Zac strategy is not efficient. Okay, it's not efficient. It's not good. Okay, he has 3 jungle camps. 4 jungle camps are up in Zac's jungle. He's not taking them. This is really bad what Zac is doing. Okay, you can't win games like this very often. See here, Rammus has a 600 gold bounty purely just taking a lot of jungle camps. It's 150 minion kill gold to 74 minion kill gold from Zac. It's more than double. Because Zac is level 10, Rammus is level 13. So Zac is not even close to as effective in this game as the Rammus is, or will be. So you need to be very careful about ganking that often, because you will fall behind if you're not taking your jungle camps. You really, really have to take your jungle camps, or you will just get trashed.
Shut down. Red team double kill.
Let's use that.
Red team double kill.
So, you know, obviously, yes, the Vayne was obviously very good. That shouldn't be underestimated, is that the Vayne is just carrying the entire game. But it should be noted that even with the frequency of Zac ganking Zac, like, he ganked probably twice as often as Rammus, but has less kills and assists. So just ganking more often doesn't mean that the ganks will work. Okay, you have to actually get the items and experience to be powerful champion to make sure that you actually kill the people when you do gank. Okay, so if I am taking the farm from the jungle, I get stronger, I get items, I earn levels, and I'm more powerful when I do gank, so the gank that I do is more likely to work because I now have items that I can use to kill people. Right? So Rammus here has Wit's End. This is a very powerful item, you know, after 20 minutes in the game. So, you know, Rammus does a lot of damage when he ganks, because this taunt with increased attack speed, plus Wit's End, and Sunfire Aegis, where you're dealing the extra burn damage on hit, this is actually 40% attack speed. You know, Rammus, this is not a bad VPS build for Rammus. This is a lot of damage for Rammus. This is about the most damage that you'll get, like, from Rammus, if you're actually being realistic about, you know, what is efficient on the champion. So yeah, Zac just ganked way too often. It's very rare that kind of strategy will work. It is possible to work, but I wouldn't count on it to work frequently, in my experience. Playing against it or trying to use that strategy doesn't work too often.